Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Now, after a week of beautiful weather, just take a look at this beautiful sunset. We're keeping an eye on the sky for some potential storms coming up. Meteorologist Tracy Bean is with us now in the Weather Center. Tracy, what can we expect?
Well, the good news is tomorrow morning for the Little Rock Marathon, I think we are going to just maybe have rain showers. We're not looking for that severe weather to really move into the state until late into the evening, overnight into Monday. So that is the good news. We're going to take a quick look at our radar. Showers beginning to pop up around the state, just spotty showers, and that will continue to increase overnight. And again, by tomorrow morning, you probably will see a few showers as you kick off the run. Temperatures across the state right now are pretty warm. 76 here in Little Rock, 76 in Monticello, and 68 in Clinton. Now for this evening, as you're carb loading or celebrating from this morning's run, we're looking at temperatures right around 70, decreasing down into the mid 60s or so. Just that little chance for a spotty shower, but not too bad. Clouds will continue to increase. Now this is what we're looking at for tomorrow. Again, this is going to be late evening into the overnight hours. This is going to be an isolated chance for some tornadoes and definitely some winds. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you, but you can stay alert and download that THV 11 app and we will keep you connected.
Thank you, Tracy. Now new at 6, an overnight shooting in Hazen has killed a family of 3. Investigators say the victims Amanda and James Turner and their daughter Miranda Munnerlin were found just outside their home on Highway 63. Authorities have arrested Michael Munnerlin, Miranda's husband, and he's being charged with murder in connection to the shooting. And we are learning more about a fiery crash yesterday that led to a major traffic jam on I-30 near Malvern. Arkansas State Police say the 2 drivers in the head-on collision that led to this photo have sadly died. Reports show the crash involved a semi-truck and a commercial vehicle. Lanes were closed for a few hours as crews worked to clear this wreckage, but traffic is now back to normal. And demonstrations in support of the people of Ukraine have been happening across the globe, and that's including right here in Little Rock. At least 100 people gathered for a peace rally this morning on the steps of the state capitol. Native Ukrainians here in Arkansas shared stories of their family struggles back in their home country.
It is very extremely important for them in this difficult time, in this surreal world that they did not think would be ever possible to have support. It is incredibly important. They know that the Western world in the United States of America support them.
And rally organizers ask for continued prayers and support for the people of Ukraine as conflict continues. And in that news, an attempted ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine failed after troops reportedly continue shelling the country. Russian President Vladimir Putin is comparing sanctions from the West to declaring war and sending a warning to Ukraine. Michael George reports from New York.
Russian President Vladimir Putin warned Ukraine Saturday that its statehood is in jeopardy if it continues to battle his invading troops. Ukraine officials say Russia violated a promised ceasefire in the port city of Mariupol with artillery fire and airstrikes. Close to 1.5 million Ukrainians have fled the country as the war escalates in its second week. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited a refugee reception center in Poland before briefly crossing the border into Ukraine.
As to the pressure on Russia, not only is it unprecedented, not only is it producing very, very concrete results in Russia, but that pressure too will not only continue, it will grow until this war of choice is brought to an end.
Ukraine's state emergency service distributed video it says shows a Russian military plane that was shot down. Ukraine's foreign minister urged Western allies to provide more air defense systems, including Stinger surface-to-air missiles.
We effectively use them, and just today we shot down 3 Russian attack aircrafts which were bombing our cities. If we lose the skies, there will be much more blood on the ground.
On a Zoom call with nearly 300 members of Congress, Ukraine's president pleaded for military planes and support, and again urged a no-fly zone over Ukraine. The Russian president said any country declaring one would be considered participants in a military conflict. Michael George, CBS News.
Here in Arkansas, the 20th Little Rock Marathon kicked off early this morning at 7:30. Organizers expect about 6,000 runners to cross the finish line this weekend. Today was also the Health and Fitness Expo, timed pretty well. The event has more than 50 vendors showcasing all of their products, services for health-minded people, as well as fitness and nutrition information.
It's a great opportunity for people to get together. They've seen people they've raced with all over the country, and it's just a fun celebration for the 20th anniversary.
The expo is also the race headquarters for the athletes and more than 1,500 volunteers. The event wrapped up a few minutes ago, just at 6 o'clock. But tomorrow, racers will continue in the half marathon and the full marathon. The early start is at 6 a.m. and the general start is at 8. And that Little Rock Marathon is a chance for many to stay fit and have fun. But for one woman, it's a chance to honor someone close to her. THV 11's Ian Russell shows us how she carried a memory across the finish line.
Because we're strong. We say, my family, we're Ranger strong. We've got this.
Saturday is a big day for Kathleen Sullivan, and she needs all the support she can get. She's walking with some close friends for a cause close to her, awareness for neurofibromatosis, or NF. It's a genetic disorder that causes tumors to grow on nerves.
And there is no cure, limited treatments. And 4 people in my family have NF1. And someday I want a cure.
It's a goal she's been working towards for decades with the Children's Tumor Foundation, a group focused on ending NF. While Sullivan is here to support them, they're also supporting her.
Well, this is not a day of sadness for us. This is our day of celebrating my dad.
James Pops Ranger always had things on his bucket list, some crazy ones too. Skydiving at 70, he did that. And the last thing on his bucket list...
I was up in Jonesboro visiting him, and he reached across and he patted my leg and pointed his big old fat finger at me. I said, Katie, I want to walk a marathon with you. And all those of us said, you're crazy.
But Pops was getting older, so they settled on something easier. This weekend's 5K, a twofold event. Unfortunately, it never got to happen.
On October 4th, 2021, my father passed away due to complications of COVID. My heart broke because I lost my father, but also because I lost the dream of the one thing that we were going to do together.
Things haven't been easy, but like today's 5K...
And you get to that next step. It's just getting through that next step till you get your joy.
It's step by step until the end. Sullivan and her group walked their own pace, having fun along the way. Finishing on their own time and crossing off the last thing on Pop's bucket list.
I wish my dad was here, but he is in spirit, and I know that. And I know that we're making a difference, which is what he led his whole life about, is helping others.
And Pops was there, in spirit and in person. Sullivan's sister brought his ashes along.
Dad did the race with us. We didn't just carry him, we carried him. And he'd have been tickled. My dad would have loved that.
It's not the ending of the list that she would have wanted, but that's okay. Being happy in this moment is what Pops would have wanted.
I can't change outcomes, but I can change my attitude. You don't get to choose circumstances, but you do get to choose today. Today I choose joy.
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
Well, with this beautiful sunset, we do have rain showers increasing across the state. When we come back, I'll tell you more about our potential rainfall and severe weather tomorrow night.